are doing this thing called Career Academies.
And is it new this year?
No.
Implemented? I wasn't sure.
It's not
Implemented.
new.
Right.
That's a really good question, actually. It's not new. We've been working on it, I want to say, well, since the initial planning process, probably 5 years. And then I would say really working in the high school to make it take shape for 3 years now. But I would say it's very new to the students.
Right. And to the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it seems like, we've heard Ben has talked a lot about Career Academies. He comes to a lot of the chamber meetings, and he's always advocating for these Career Academies. And I feel like finally now this year, it's really being pushed out there, and we are hearing about it, and we're seeing now on social media the experiences that the high school kids are having, and it's really neat. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have 6 career academies, and those were developed through a lot of brainstorming, I suppose, and we kind of settled on this idea of following the Department of Education and their career wheel that they've created. And so the 6 career academies, I would say, are very all-encompassing. Any career that a student would want to go into falls into one of the academies. And then we have electives that fit into each of those academies. And we even break down our academies into pathways as well, which is just a more narrowed focus on a career path, a career destination.
So, for example, if a student finds interest in agriculture, so what would you tell them if they came to you as the advisor?
So if a student was interested in agriculture, I would definitely advise them to take some courses that fall into our Agriculture and Natural Resources Academy. And we have so many course offerings that Jessie Lubke's offers at the high school that would help a student, I suppose, explore agriculture. And at the high school, I don't want to say that we want the students to choose a pathway and stick to it, because I think we all know that oftentimes our paths change as we go through our lives. And so the academies allow the students to explore that pathway. And then if they want to, because they have a lot of opportunities for electives at the high school, they can move to a different academy or a different pathway if they realize, agriculture isn't quite what I was thinking it was. But they can learn from Mrs. Lubke's and her classes whether that's the right thing for them.
Which is just as important, I think, to learn. We were actually talking about this earlier before we went on the air, that sometimes this wasn't available when we were in high school, and so to be able to find out what you think you like and you don't is just as important, and will save a lot of money. Through college or whatever, if you can find out something you thought you were interested in, but maybe not.
Absolutely. And one of our focuses at the high school and with the career academies is giving the students the opportunity to get a lot of hands-on experiences and also connection with our businesses in the community. And that can be through, having guest speakers come in from our various businesses, to tours to the businesses, job shadows, but also we have what we call our youth skills training experiences, which is students can take a credit-bearing course in which they get to do an internship. And so they can get some real-life hands-on experience and realize, either this is exactly what I want to do or absolutely not. This is not what I want to do.
So what are the 6 academies that students can choose?
Okay, so our 6 academies we have the Business Management and Marketing Academy, Information Systems, Communications, and Art Academy. There's the Engineering, Manufacturing, and Technology Academy, the Health Sciences Academy, the Agriculture and Natural Resources Academy, and then the Human Services Academy.
Wow.
And
That's
one thing,
awesome.
that you'd find too, when you look at those academies in detail, it's not necessarily exactly, they're all, like you said, it's all encompassing. So you're going to find something within one of those, and some of, let's say human resources, or something that most businesses have a human resources department. It might be within.
Yes, that would fall into the Business Management and Marketing Academy.
But you could also work in, let's say, health services in HR.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So they kind of mix that way too.
We definitely find that, Fairview, for example, they have people working in jobs that fall into almost all, if not all, of these academies. So students could get an experience at Fairview in many different areas, not just health sciences.
Okay. And so how would a student go about starting this process? Is it more like a ninth grade? Is that ideal?
So we advise in ninth grade, that's really where a lot of exploration is going to happen. And we do have a situation where students don't get that many elective options in their ninth grade year. Just there's not a lot of room in their schedule. There's a lot of core classes that they have to take. So the ones that they do take, usually they're going to take courses in lots of different academies and then kind of find their niche. Maybe they find, oh, I really like industrial tech classes, so I'm going to take more woods classes or welding classes. Then probably in 10th grade, they're going to start doing that focus. And we would say that in junior and senior year, that's where likely they're going to find that home, I suppose, in an academy.
So I have a question about, so these classes that are under these academies, they are like more like an elective?
Yes,
Okay.
they are the elective. So, of course, we have the core classes that all students have to take, and we don't put those into any one of the academies. Many of them would fall into multiple academies. It's our electives that fall into the
Very
academies.
cool. That is such a nice option. It's high school is so different
Yeah.
from when we were in school. I mean,
Starting to get outside of the classroom a little bit more and
Yeah.
doing the hands-on.
Yeah, I have students doing some really awesome experiences at some of our businesses. One student in particular, our kind of guinea pig student, I suppose, Cooper, he started at Glen Metalcraft, and he started there a year ago and has continued for, I suppose now he's starting on his 4th trimester there, and he loves it, absolutely loves it. And when I talk to the people at Glen, they say that they are excited for him to continue on there, and he definitely wants to continue his career there after he graduates.
so in that example, so does he work or does he go there and work during school hours?
He does. He leaves 6th hour and goes 3 days a week to Glen Metalcraft, and he works there for a few hours. So he works both during the school day and afterwards. And yeah, he is doing a job that typically 16 and 17-year-olds can't do, but we, through approval with the Department of Labor, are able to get our students into some of those positions. So I think that also helps out our businesses when they're trying to find workers.
Oh, absolutely. And then, they're probably hoping he stays on.
Yes.
But so he is getting credit.
He's
high
getting
school
credit.
and he's getting paid, and he's finding that he is loving this.
Yes.
And what a great thing.
It's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
Because Glen Metalcraft too
is.
especially in a time when it's so hard to find employees and quality employees. This is a great situation for them.
Yeah,
Also,
it is a win-win-win. It's a win for Cooper, it's a win for Glen Metalcraft, and it's a win for high school for, having these awesome educational experiences outside of the classroom.
Yeah, and I think some of